everyone. How are you doing today? So I wanted to just jump on here really quickly to share something with you guys. So while I was getting my car washed today, I came across this article that was actually talking about why, nurses have a high divorce rate, right? So while I was reading the article, I came across a statement that said it is not shocking that many marriages among nurses don't last. And I'm like, why is it not shocking to us? Like, why would they even say it's not shocking? It should be a shock to us, especially our community as nurses, that we spend hours caring for other people. We experience burnout. We experience compassion fatigue at the end of the day, where we should be more concerned about, having that one person in our life that we can actually come home to after a stressful shift. Somebody that we call our home, somebody that we call our peace. So the fact that this article said, it is not a shock, it should be a shock to us nurses. It should definitely be a shock to us nurses. And my another one of my concern, I couldn't help but ask myself, like, so what is it? What is it that we are lacking in our relationships or, in our marriages that is contributing to these high divorce rates or, lack of a sustainable relationship in our community? Okay. And I feel like one of the reasons that I can think of is actually barriers to communication. So how exactly do we work on our communication outside of the hospital in our personal relationships that can contribute to a successful So the article also address the fact that nurses undergo a thorough training on the importance of communication with all parties involved in patient care. Keyword, inpatient care, right? So I feel like as a community of nurses, these are things that we have to actually address on our own outside of the hospital, because the hospital is only interested in their own gain. When it comes to patient care, they don't care about you or, what struggles you face at the end of the day when you clock out of those hospitals. No, you have to really invest into your own self-care. You have to invest into something that you value the most in your life, right? Because when you come home at the end of a long shift, who is your peace? Right? Who is your peace? Who can actually provide that invaluable, priceless peace for you when you come home? Who's going to be there for you at the end of the day when you're not even you don't even have the strength to go back to work. You don't even have the strength to care for yourself. So I feel like it is time we start prioritizing our personal relationships. It is time we start investing energy, time, and whatever resources that we need to invest into our personal lives in order to have a successful relationships, successful marriages. Okay. So I hope this really resonate with you, because it is time we change the status quo that the nursing profession is among the occupation with the highest divorce rates in the United States. In fact, it is time we change the status quo that divorce. I feel like we do an excellent job when it comes to our communication with our patient. And that's one thing that a lot of the hospital or the facilities actually prioritize. But at the end of the day, who is prioritizing, our communications or the barriers that, exist in our communication, in our personal lives, especially in our relationships, right? Because we all know that, we work in a profession that leave us so burnt out to the point where we are pretty much isolated at the end of the day. You don't even have the strength or the energy to communicate properly or to actually prioritize something that is important to you and your well-being outside of patient care, right? So I feel like we need to really, truly sit back and just really analyze, the reason behind these high divorce rates, the reason behind, nurses not being able to, like, sustain a relationship, or a successful relationship at that, outside of their career, right? But anyways, I just wanted to share that little slurp with you guys on here. But honestly, guys, this is something that we really need to like, work on as a community. We really need to have a community where us nurses can actually come together and address these, like, issues that we face. Because at the end of the day, believe it or not, these are, like, illnesses that we have to deal with personally. And at the end of the day, who's taking care of you while you're facing these issues? Like, who do you have at home that is going to, like, care for you? Who do you have at home that you can actually come home to at the end of the long shift?